This all started with a tweet. A tweet that to many may have seemed like just a simple goof or laugh, but to me was a challenge. When one person says, "Are we asking too much?" I say, "Are we asking enough?" The era we live in is filled with new culinary trends being invented every day. Matcha, cake pops, kale, grilled watermelon. They performed surgery on a freaking grape. But I'm not ready to give up on cauliflower. To me, cauliflower can be more. It can be everything. It can be all a flower. So I set out on a mission to make a 4-course meal that features cauliflower as the base ingredient of every single dish. I made a menu, I assembled a team, and I got cooking. For the appetizer, we landed on a specialty of my father's, the cheesy bacon cauliflower balls. If you thought this was going to be vegan just because it involves cauliflower, this video is not for you. The process goes like this. Boil cauliflower florets until you can easily pierce one with a fork. At this point, you can either blend the cauliflower or just get a really big fork and start mashing it apart. While you are working on the cauliflower is a good time to get some bacon going. Once that is cooked to your liking, go ahead and break it into bits and stir it in with some shredded cheddar cheese and your cauliflower. I think you found the most humor since you've known me.
Yeah.
In getting just
ridiculously close.
Obscurely ridiculous
Yeah.
close-ups. Mold the mix into meatball-sized lumps. Throw them in the oven at 350 for 15 minutes or until the edges are golden. And boom, you've just made a cheesy bacon cauliflower ball. My father was a cauliflowerman. My father's father was a cauliflowerman. His father's father?
We don't know.
Coal mines. Everybody knows that as soon as you go far back to the 1800s.
Everybody was in the mines.
Mostly in the mines. Second up, I went with a specialty of my roommates, tempura battered cauliflower wings. Cut up a head of cauliflower into florets. In my opinion, you want to go for medium to small sized pieces. That will probably allow for the right ratio of a chewy inside to a crunchy outside. You're going to want that even mix. You'll want to fill a pot around halfway with oil. His preference is peanut, but we went with vegetable. I would say stick with the peanut oil. You're going to get a better crisp golden look to them that way. Go ahead and get that on a burner and let that start heating up. You're going to need about a 3/4 cup of cornstarch, a 1/4 cup of flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, as well as 1 cup of cold water. Emphasis, cold. Mix together all your dry ingredients, then slowly add the water. You want the mix to be similar to pancake batter, and if you've never made pancakes before, or if you haven't had pancakes, you are not ready for cauliflower. Once your oil is warm enough, bring the bowl over to your oil and begin dipping the florets in your batter. Coat them completely, and then it's time to play everyone's favorite game, Don't Get Burned by the Oil Splashes. This at home in my old kitchen, or in my other kitchen. In my actual apartment, and not in my parents' house. Tempura batter is going to get crispy pretty quick. Each wing should probably be in the oil for no more than 5 minutes, but you can stretch it a little longer if you really want to crunch on those suckers. It is mission critical that as soon as those wings are out of the oil, you hit it with some chili powder, salt, pepper, whatever seasoning you want, but that's what we went with, was chili powder, salt, and pepper. These beauties are going to be piping hot, so I recommend letting them sit for another 5 to 10 minutes to allow for maximum enjoyment.
I think it'd be even better if we toss these in a sauce.
Oh, let's get some hot sauce.
Dress them.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that, the hot sauce.
The ones with the more bacon do go harder.
Without ranch dressing, it was good.
Okay.
Now I'm going to try it with a little ranch dressing. Should I eat it?
Go for it, yeah.
Just as good either way. Flour ball?
Yeah, cauliflower ball.
Definitely is better in the sauce, I think.
Have you reached your cauliflower limit?
I think I have reached my cauliflower limit.
Only after the appetizer?
Only after the appetizer.
So you're not going to have the grilled cheese?
I will, for the sake of the game. But I am not a cauliflower fan.
Not being a cauliflower fan, yet you've decided to partake. What were your emotions heading into the first sampling?
Worry, distress, really questioning our years of friendship.
Has it surpassed your expectations as of now? Even if your expectations were low, did we still clear the bar?
The bar was on the floor.
What's your cauliflower level at right now?
I'm pretty much there, I think, but I could try. I will try the sandwich, the grilled cheese sandwich.
I'm surprised that I didn't know that everybody was going to feel as though they've hit a cauliflower limit after just the appetizer.
Sorry, I have a great bit to add. I would say I'm collied out.
What were your expectations, and have we met or surpassed them so far?
Oh, well,
I guess, are you feeling...
the expectation then would be, I've had the cauliflower wings before. I kind of knew how they tasted. I was worried that the cauliflower bites may not be as good as the broccoli bites, and I would say they're at least about the same.
What's your cauliflower level at right now? Do you feel as though you've had not enough, just the right amount, or too much cauliflower after just the appetizer?
I like cauliflower, so I'm going to say I'm good so far,
Okay.
and I think I can make it to the end.
Expectations going in, and have we met or surpassed those expectations?
Expectations going in were iffy, bumpy, at best. I was glad that you brought Hannah into this. My kitchen isn't burned down, so I'm going to say my expectations have been exceeded.
Somehow I'm making it worse. Oh, that's less focused. Okay. Nope. Can you scoot back a little bit?
Expectations as of right now, 1 in, this is a good time. I feel as though the appetizer kind of sets the bar, and we're at a point where it is enjoyable. My expectations for how others would react to this, I will admit, I kind of thought that we were going to get through at least the appetizer before everybody, except for one, I guess before 2/3 of the people involved would say that they've had too much cauliflower. The grilled cheese is, I think, going to basically set the rest of the tone. I'm worried that I won't be able to make it.
Like alive?
No, physically make the sandwich. Perhaps leading to my death subsequently following. The big cheese, if you will, of this whole presentation was going to be the cauliflower grilled cheese. This process starts as all the others do. You're going to take a head of cauli, cut into florets, size here, pretty irrelevant, and throw it in the blender. Then, blend that baby until it is riced. You can also just buy riced cauliflower, but unless you have the ability to get it, fresh, if you're getting it frozen, it's not going to be the same. Take a medium bowl, add the cauliflower, then add 2 lightly beaten eggs. That was a bad crack.
That was a hot shot, though.
Bring together half a cup of Parmesan and half a teaspoon of oregano. We also had some leftover shredded cheddar that we threw in as well. Take your mix and form it into patties. Now, this is hindsight speaking, but to the best of my knowledge, the recipe did not really mention the dimensions of the patties and the size they should be. So, my advice here is the smaller the better. The recipe also calls for heating a non-stick skillet, but we went with my parents' fancy little middle griddle. Now, here's where, for better or worse, emphasis on worse, we decided to deviate from the recipe. We added pepperoni to the sandwiches, and for that much, I actually think that was an improvement to what was going to be made. However, instead of using shredded white cheddar as our main cheese, we went with store-brand sliced mozzarella. This was a mistake for 2 reasons. First, I thought I knew better. I believe that mozzarella is the Lamborghini of the cheeses and can do no wrong. Yet, ultimately, I feel as though it took away from the maximum taste potential. Second, I made the executive decision to go with mozzarella cheese because I was chasing that sweet, beautiful cross-section. It didn't exactly pan out. The recipe says that these are going to need to be on the griddle for about 5 minutes on each side. However, I think most people are going to be able to just play it by eye. You're going to know if this thing looks like it's getting crispy.
This sandwich is much like most of my first dates, a disappointment, and not nearly saucy enough.
I don't like this.
Are you cauliflowered out?
After that, definitely. But the cake, I'm still gonna try. But
What did you not like about it?
it just didn't taste that good to me. To me, it didn't even taste like cauliflower. And the cheese, I tried a piece with just the cheese, and that didn't make any difference. And then with the pepperoni, I would never order this sandwich and never attempt to eat it again.
I'm going to say it was dry, Well, Hannah called it wet. I called it dry. But I'm gonna say it was not something I would eat again until there was some improvements made to it.
Maybe it's just my refusal to accept defeat. This wasn't terrible. It was bland. We definitely, I think, agreed before we even tried these that we made the patties too thick, which led to either a dry or wet feeling, depending on who you ask. Some might call that a contradiction. Who am I to say? If it was a little bit crispier and crunchier, honestly, probably would have liked it. I didn't think it was that bad. It definitely needed a little bit more flavor. Like 1 to 10 scale, I'm gonna say a 4, which compared to what it could be, not bad. And we're coming off of, in my opinion, like a 7 or an 8 with the appetizers. So right now we're averaging at a 6 or 5.5. Last, we had the cauliflower Mississippi mud cake. This one was also borrowed from a recipe that we found online with one dramatic change. The process here is fairly quick and easy. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees, mix the dry ingredients in one bowl. That includes 1 cup of probiotic digestive support chocolate protein, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, and 1 cup of pureed cauliflower. In another bowl, mix together your wet ingredients. It's 2 eggs. Add the wet to the dry and then mix until a 3C thick batter forms.
Is it Chef Boyardee?
Right now,
When you add,
it's weird. It's like kind of dull to start, but then it tastes good as the longer that like the chocolate comes through at the end.
this has sweetener in it of some sort.
Yeah, I definitely can feel the power
Taste of it.
from the protein blend. It was weird. It was bland to start, but like the cocoa kind of finally got in there.
Dextrose,
Laboratory.
asulfame.
Better than Beeselfame. Every time that you do a little, I'm going to keep that in there so that people know that you did think it was fun.
Bake for 20 to 25 minutes. Then the recipe calls for a sweet potato buttercream frosting, but my dad came in with his signature peanut butter frosting that he adds to his own, much better, non-cauliflower based Mississippi mud cakes. I think that we got so excited over the idea of the dessert that following a less than stellar cauliflower grilled cheese, the idea was, well, this is going to bring it back. And to be fair, it wasn't terrible.
It's not terrible. I mean,
But
it's got good flavor.
do I feel bad that we made 6 of those and I probably don't want to eat another one? Yes.
Well, you got to do a solid recipe.
I think that we could have done better.
Mhm.
I think we really had it in the first half.
As a person who's not a big cauliflower fan, did you taste much cauliflower in there?
No, you don't taste cauliflower.
Okay. Through 3 courses. Cauliflower overload?
I didn't eat much of the cauliflower patty of the cauliflower sandwich.
Yes.
Do not taste cauliflower at all in the dessert, so I would say it's a humbly cauliflower experience.
So you would mark it a success in disguising a cauliflower meal?
No. Because you have the cake disguised. Cool, hidden veggies, we love it. You have very blatant cauliflower wings. There's no hiding that. I think you can tell the bites are cauliflower.
Absolutely.
The cauliflower bites, yes, sir.
This, I wouldn't even think this is cauliflower. I would think this is some scientific creation.
Kind of like cornmeal, corn mash.
It reminded me of
experiment.
actually a lot of like polenta in the texture,
Yeah.
which is why I kind of feel like we could.
Bless you.
Is there any other questions?
Yeah, I guess overall experience, 1 to 10.
A 1 to 10?
1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest.
5.
Okay.
We had some good wins. We had some not good wins, also known as losses.
If we did it in this exact same order, and the first thing I tried was the cauliflower wings, I'd say, yeah, these aren't bad. And then I had the cauliflower bites, I would say, man, these aren't bad. And when I got to that sandwich, I would say something like, what the hell is this? And then I would eat this cake and go, well, this isn't cauliflower anyway, but it's still not that great. 1 to 10 on the food, I would give it a 5.5. Because there was some of it that was just but most of it was at least average or better. You know, like, I would say, even for knowing what this was, I would still give it at least a 5. And I think the wings were like a 7 or 8. Those were really good. The bites are about a 7, but the sandwich seems like a 2. So I'd give it 5, 5.5, something like that.
Final thoughts on the cake were... I wasn't a big fan.
It would do well with a scoop of ice cream.
Maybe.
Be bad.
Yeah.
Something to, moisten it, something to wet in the whistle.
Cold scoop of ice cream.
It's okay. Like my dad keeps saying, if you cut it in half, you just get rid of like half of how dry this thing is. I'd go ahead and eat it and not really complain. But for me, the cake was actually probably the weakest part of the whole thing. I'd say the cake to me was like a 3. So I think that pretty much brings my score down to where everybody else had, this like 5, 5.5 on the food. The experience, for not knowing really what I was doing, I think the experience was an 8. I'd do this again just because I felt like I was trying new things, putting myself out there. In the end, this could have gone better. It got off to a very strong start. The tempura cauliflower wings were great. The cauliflower bacon bites were the star of the meal. To be fair, if we'd actually made the grilled cheese to the recipe's instructions, this could have been a 3 for 4 in terms of overall meal quality. In defense of my helpers, they probably told me the changes that I wanted to make to the grilled cheese were a bad idea, but I said no. I want Texas toast-sized cauliflower bread, and I want mozzarella cheese. And it was a bad idea. I would give Cauliflower Round 1 2.5 stars out of 5. Truly, the only thing that was a bummer here, and I don't see getting any better, was the Mississippi mud cake. It was dry, it was chalky. If it weren't for my dad's peanut butter icing, I probably would have just started stacking them and made some sort of Mississippi mud house. Babish, or any celebrity chef, not even a celebrity chef, any chef on YouTube who knows more of what they're doing than me, if this video ever makes its way to you, let's team up. Let's do Cauliflower 2.0, because I firmly believe that there is still faith in making an all cauliflower based ingredient meal. With chefs of your skill level and mad genius like mine, we could combine to make culinary history.